in the last 1 or 2 months. I have been just conversing with a few known personalities. The intention is to express the emotion behind the personality, the ideas, the thoughts. It's the intention is not to project a personality or praise and the way he has worked through the project or any. We have interviewed some 10 or 12 of them in various fields. So the thought process is more focused. That is my effort that has been. So Shri Sachin Ghawde, he said, he talked about you last week. So I thought this is a new field. There are many who are doing such a thing. They are employed somewhere else, but they have adopted a project, adopted a village, adopted a community or community work, or they have themselves initiated a project and they are doing it. So when I heard about this from Sachin, I thought I'll just talk with you and share with my friends here. So I'd like to know just a brief introduction of yourself. Where are you from in Bharat? Where did you graduate and all? How did you, when and how did you settle or go to America? As my brief introduction of yourself, and then we'll go to the project.
Sure. So, Ram Gopal Ratnam ji. It's very nice to connect with you. And so myself, Nirmal Sharma, and my native place is in Bharat, Madhya Pradesh. It's a Bhopal division. There we have a district called Vidisha.
Vidisha, oh.
Vidisha, it's a very politically famous district. Atal Bihari Vajpayee, Sushma Swaraj, a few other key politicians have always fought from there. And Singh Chauhan himself was MP for almost 5 times there. So from Vidisha, there is about 45 kilometers away. There is a Tehsil place called Ganj Basuda. So this Ganj Basuda is my native place, and this is where this project was found. And so my initial study until high secondary was at Ganj Basuda, and then I did my advanced diploma in computer science from SATI College Vidisha, and thereafter, so SATI College is Samrat Asok Technological Institute. It's one of the very good college in MP.
Government?
It's a private autonomous college now. Yeah. Yeah. So I did my advanced computer diploma there, and then I was started. Few years I was in the teaching, and then I moved to Indore, Madhya Pradesh. So Indore is one of the good capital where a lot of young people like me reaches there and try to do some good job there. So I was there for 8 years. I was in the IT industry there, and thereafter I was at Hyderabad for about 6-7 years. In 2013, I moved to United States.
So you migrated to the US at a later age. Normally, most of them, they just early 20s and they moved to America.
Yes. So when I started my career, I wanted to go to US, but in around 2000, 2000, 2001. But that time, I think there was not much of the opportunities were there to go there. And then I planned to settle in India itself. I never thought of coming to US at the later age, but sometime destiny is written, so you can't go by yourself. There are certain events happen in your life, and you have to move on. So that's how it
Allow it, allow the tide to carry you.
tried to carry you. Exactly, yeah.
Yes. Uh,
So that's where is my
so once the life is settled with marriage, employment, and everything, most of them, we all, the life gets to a full stop. Profession is settled, marriage is over. Now it is a daily chore. That is what we find. So when and what made you think of your village? You have left it long back, though you were there. You have some vested interest, your parents or your property or land there in the village?
yeah. So my I think I did not complete my introduction because it was my introduction, but my introduction will complete when when I give my introduction to my father, he and my mother,
Correct.
because they
Mm.
are actually behind of whatever I am today. And there are a lot of sacrifices. There are a lot of things have been done in the background. Whatever everybody sees today is basically, it's all because of both of my parents. My mother was, she was housewife. She was not well educated. Very, I think she did only primary, and she wanted to teach me as much as I can. And similarly, my father, he was a so I come from a Brahmin family, and he was a priest, and he was
Oh,
regular stuff like as other priest does there. And uh, not very good life in the childhood. There was a lot of struggle for him, but he had very high rules, regulations, and he was very big bhakt of God Rama. And there
mm,
have been lot of incidents which I can recall today. As I mean, people say that there is no God, you can't see them, but I have experienced it multiple times while I was with him. And and there were lot of things which he had, like his every breath kind of towards his he used to call him Raghavendra Sarkar. He was,
yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
um, so he passed away 3 years back in 2017. He was there at the same village. So he's basically the my inspiration for starting
inspiration.
school. And he lot of people says it, but he had this very clear thought. He was keep telling that you have to spend some of part of your income back to the society, because in the
Oh,
earlier age of this, when the Hindu civilization was getting developed, I think his thought was that it was not everybody was rich. There are the people are came by karma, right? Lot of people gets rich by birth, lot of people don't get rich by birth. So there are always the rich people or people who have the money. Whatever way you can help the other people, whoever is, you feel they need, they are not so privileged, but you can help them in whatever way, you have to go and support them. So that is how basically his teachings were there since my childhood. And so somehow a lot of his thought process is basically transferred to me. And I think,
You see the greatness when you are struggling for even for basic needs. The whole focus is on that, to hold on to values and to inspire something beyond our present status. That requires a great and divine personality. Because most of us, when I am struggling with the disease, my whole focus is on the pain, and I cannot talk, even I cannot think of nobler and higher ideas. So to lead a life of a nobility, discipline, religion, and austerity, even while you are struggling, that's the greatness that has been there in our previous generation. Very normally, naturally, it was there, prominently there. Slowly, it is now disappearing. We just say, because I am in distress, I cannot do all this. I have to take care of only my stomach and my family.
exactly.
Okay, so your father has shaped your personality, your thoughts and ideas. So actually, how did you start this? And you just give a brief nutshell of your project. What do you do there? And then how did you start it?
So this project is it's a school basically, and this
School.
it's a school, and this school is founded in 2009. However, the preparation started a few years back, but the actual school was started in 2009. And today it's 2020, so it's 11th or 12th year is in, we are in successfully completed 11 years so far. And uh, this school provides 100% free education to the poorest,
Oh.
the poor in the society, especially the female students, female childs, because nowadays things have been improved over the period of years, but even 10 years back, situation was not that bad.
Mm.
A lot of parents were interested to send their male students boys to the
The
school, but
schools.
girls were
Mhm.
still staying at home.
Yes.
So the
Yes.
main focus was to bring the childs who are not going to the school, or for some reason, whether they are economically uh,
Mhm.
not well, or there are different things. A lot of orphan children, we have their parents or one of the parents are not there. They were having some good wealth, but when it comes to one parent,
Yes.
a lot of problem happens in the family. And the culture, like when the single mom is there, a lot of people comes back and they occupy their property, money and everything, and they were just left out. So ultimately it's all you know economically weak childs that we have in our school. Today we have approximately 300 plus students, 320 to be more precise approximately,
Oh.
and it's up to high school. The school was basically uh, um, how this your second question was how this school was started. So like I said that my father was so in 2000 basically I had entered in this information technology IT career, and definitely initial year there were a lot of struggle and all those things. Few years it took me to settle down. 2003 I got married. 2004 I have got my first child, my daughter, born. And uh, when my daughter born, there was a lot of things changed. And my father, what he was keep telling, and I was away for a few years with my father during that period because I was kind of, on the profession, and he was all the time living in the native place. So we always used to have exchange of thoughts whenever, every few months when I go and meet him. He has the same thought always. Now you are having some good amount of money earning. You should basically start thinking about, giving it back to. So initially 2005, he was uh, 2005, 2006, and so 2000 somewhere 2006 actually, this is what basically we both decided, yes, we need to do something. And the more of a discussion was to what to and where to spend, that what project basically to start. So this whole school idea also came from his side only. So he told me that I was initially start probably feeding to the poor's, food or something like that, giving whatever way we can help. But he was in agreement to it, and he said very clearly that I would prefer you somehow, you know, uh, share, start donating the what you call knowledge, Gyan Dan. So
Another.
that is the best thing you could give it to somebody. And in the current world, if the person or basically the child, if they get their thing right and they have a proper education, most likely they could heal themselves, they could improve their own families, and most likely they can improve the whole family, and further whatever the relatives and other stuff, I could. And this was one of the good example from my family itself, because when I got some good education and all that stuff, things have been, I was earning a good amount of money in the IT sector. So that is where this thought started coming. And we bought a land in 2018. It was 25,000 square feet land. It's middle in the town. So basically it's very approachable. We can cover like the entire town. So all places, because it sits very near to the center of this town. So it's very easy to basically commute people and come and go and all that stuff. And so this is how basically the
So, how do what is the selection process, admission process? That is, how do you pick the children who are economically downtrodden, who require a free education? Or you just admit any child who comes? What is your process of admission?
Yeah, very good question. So this is where everything, all these things have been very well thought through. I formed a small committee there. I have couple of friends, few of my gurujis who taught me until my high school, and they are there. I went to them and discussed with them that I'm planning to start this project, and do I have your support? Can you guide me, because I don't know how, but that time I didn't know how to run a school. So they all basically kind of step said, yeah, we will help you support whatever in terms of running the school. All the guidance, everything is written, we will provide you. So with initially all this conversation discussion, we came up with a nice idea of surveying the families directly. So
Oh.
every year before the school starts, like July 1st or June 15th, and during the summer when the heat is on 40-45 degree, um, um, uh, we all go to all the different places in the city and the town where some backward peoples are staying there, and we find people. So every year almost somewhere around uh, 250 to 500 families we visit, and we gather their applications, we go and check how they are living, what they have, and all that stuff, all the details. We meet the kids there, their parents who.
You also join that summer survey
Yes.
every year?
So not now. Now I go whenever occasionally I go there. But initial until 2014-15, I was going there every year. And
Oh,
if I'm not able to go, then there is a team there, a group of people, and they go. They do whole this. And we have a good number of staff now. There are 15-member staff is there, teachers are there, so they go and they also does this whole exercise every year. So this is how
that's
basically the selection process, where we don't trust
fine.
anybody, we just trust what we see, and based
Hmm.
on that we
Fine.
select the students.
The one aspect that I see in most of these service organizations, even our nationalistic organizations, they run so many projects, tuition centers, medical centers, and all. Uh, it is free, no fees, no financial liability, then it is mostly mediocre. The level of the level of service, the grade of service is very mediocre, very ordinary. Our free tuition centers run by our great Seva organizations, they don't produce an IITN or an IAS pass or a chartered accountant. They just collect the children, do some tuitions. Somehow they pass their 10th and they go to their camps, training camps and all. They get people for their camps. But the service provided, service of education, tuitioning, or in medical centers, service of medicines, that is not of the excellent quality. So, how do you, among the teachers, among the trustees, how do you infuse that it may not be, it may be free service, but that doesn't mean we do a mediocre work. We just have to be excellent. So, how do you infuse, or is there a system? How do you find, what is your experience in your school?
Yeah, very again very relevant question. And with respect to Spandan Academy, which is our school name, is um, we have truly lot of challenges in this part. And the challenges starts right from the when the type of children's the we get them admitted in the school. The
Mm,
so first thing is 95% of the audience, 95% of children's are or basically families belongs to labor class.
Dalits,
Yeah,
scheduled
they,
caste.
yeah, scheduled caste, scheduled tribe, Muslims, Hindus, Sikh. So we have all sort of whoever we find.
Mm,
Don't look for a specific, all general category also we have. So our core uh, ideology is to find the economically weak people, weak families, and families and the kids those are not going to the school. So challenge comes from there because all these 90% families, their parent
mm,
background, they have no
mm,
education basically. They
mm,
don't know how to sign their name. And
mm,
even if you go to bank, they are using their thumb impression for uh,
mm, mm,
withdrawing the money
mm,
and all sort of things.
mm,
That is where the big challenge we always have and we still have, because they and the Spandan Academy is an English medium school.
oh,
So we plan to give a professional education, and definitely we infuse a lot of uh, our Indian heritage, our Hindu culture, our
Mm.
our all sort of things that what we have in India as a country. We all teach them, but basically, definitely, we understand that until they have a professional education, it will be very difficult for them to grow. So we it's a English medium school, and since they all the kids parents they do not have the proper education at home. So what we do is we take the children's only from the home. So morning our people goes, they pick the children's, they come to the school, and everything, books, their um, copies, their stationery, everything inside
Uniform.
everything in the school. So it's like school plus tuition plus
Meal, meals,
meals.
khana.
Yeah, no, meals we don't provide. There are reasons we are not doing the meals, because uh, there are because there is a staff there, right? And sometime what happens is something goes wrong with the meal, right? uh, it,
Um,
it could
mm,
create lot of things. So there was a plan to start for a meal also, but we did not go for it because then I moved to here. And until I mean I'm very careful always with the things there, because we used to hear
mm,
a lot of chaotic situation in different parts of the India.
mm,
Something
mm.
went wrong, and these kids felt goes unhealthy and all sort of things. So the meal we did not provide, and but rest everything is provided in this.
No, I asked this question because intellectual activity also requires a nourishing meal.
Exactly.
So malnutrition won't help. So there can be, but government gives free rations and other things. Okay. Mm.
Yeah.
But
So all
Akshay Patra, or there are some organizations who are very successfully doing it for millions children, government schools and
yeah.
corporation schools.
So we so in case if so far actually we did not find, but if there is any such organization interested to provide meals to the school, we are happy. They have to take the end-to-end responsibility.
Akshay Patra, Hare Krishna movement, ISKCON, it runs a common food processing and cooking center, and they transport to schools through vans. They have dozens of vans every center, and they are providing lunch to almost all the states in the north. Here, the
We,
politicians do it and
yeah.
other things.
So in Madhya Pradesh, the area where we are, I think they don't have presence there. None of these organizations are there. The only
Mm,
meal program works by the government, which
government.
is meal. And uh, Madhya Pradesh, actually, we do not have, I think, Akshapatra organization, but I did try to check on their website. I wrote a couple of emails also to them. So it was not.
Okay. Yes, you can. So I was, you said background of the children, their families. They all come from labor and unlettered parents. I wanted to know what the training aspect of teachers to orient them to this special need, academically better, update self, and intention, the motivation for the affection for these children and a
Yes.
dream about the future of Bharat. So
Yes.
for that, teachers special training, do you have some programs, some faculty or some consultants who regularly visit the
Yeah.
school and
So
take care
so
of
we yeah so we We don't have a lot of consultants visiting the faculties, but we do get the professional, as much as professional teachers are available in the town,
Mm.
because people don't prefer to come from the outside. And in case, let's say, if you get very
Yes.
professional teachers from somewhere outside, let's say Bhopal or Indore, their salaries goes very high, which I cannot afford. So the reason is, that is why we have to rely on the local talents, and we do have a very good pool of talents, teachers, and they are very good in the maths, few are good in science, few are good, and more importantly, they are all eager, because it's one of a kind school in that area. I think, if I'm not wrong, it's 100% free education. It's one only school in the Madhya Pradesh, at least. And
Oh,
yes, I never came across any other school in the Madhya Pradesh, at least, who is run by total 100% free education, and with a kind of a
how do you manage funds? All your own, or you have some contributors? You have some
So
system.
so far it's been 10, 11 years, and by the grace of God, and with all blessings from my parents, I'm able to manage the school from my salaries, and this is
Oh,
basically one of the reason I would emphasize. In 2013, this school was the a reason to
reason for
from
shifting to US.
shifting to the US, so that I can earn in the dollars, and kind of it gets converted back into the rupee. So this is that was one of the reason
That is
to
so
go.
nice. Fine. There is the batch, 10th batch has come out of the school. How
No,
many?
so right now we this year we got the high school recognition, and the school is until ninth grade. So
Oh,
this year the students will pass from ninth grade, and they will go
they'll
to
get
10th grade.
the 10th, first
I
batch
think
of
one,
10th.
yeah. So one thing I forgot to mention: every year we increase one class. So I started
Yes, yes.
this as a nursery, 2009. So nursery, KG1, KG2, then first to fifth to eighth, and now the 11 years back, the kids who we
Yes.
admitted,
They
they
are
are in
now
the
in 10th.
grade. Yes,
It's a gradual growth. Very,
it's a
very
great.
good.
So
So
this was
around
also an idea. Yeah, I will emphasize.
30
This was
children
also an
in
idea
each
from
class.
my father,
Oh, correct.
because he
Very good.
knew, yeah, because he knew that you cannot afford a lot of money immediately. You have to gradually grow, and you see it to yourself, because he wanted to make sure that this thing gets successful. At the same time, I should also not struggle, or at some point of time this school uh, goes shut down,
Yes,
something like that. So it was
yes.
his blessing that he gave all these ideas.
I talked with a atomic physics scientist, senior level, retired, and who has retired as undersecretary working from Prime Minister's office. He has
Awesome.
worked, he says, with 11 prime ministers. So his schooling experience I shared with him, he shared with me. He says, I got educated in a very ordinary school. Mothers, very ordinary teachers, but the level of dedication of the teachers, that now I am in the top. I am at the top in maths or physics. The physics teacher may not be, probably he was just a mediocre student as physics MSc or BSc. But the dedication elevated me up, he said. Those were the words. So the teachers, the quality, their level, or their ranks in their university education doesn't matter. All these don't matter. The emotion, the dedication, the relationship with the children, that is more important. Acha, how do you face or is it absent in Madhya Pradesh? Huge amount of uh, corruption with the governmental departments for every sanction, every upgradation. One example I'll say, sanitary inspector came to our school. I was a secretary of Shankara school for a few months. He came to my school and he demanded 15,000. He wanted to go around the latrines and bathrooms and classrooms. I said, you come with me to your corporation school, city corporation school. We'll enter the latrine, urinal, children's urinal. If you don't hold your nose and comfortably pass urine and come out, then I'll give you 15,000, the amount that you ask. You have control your own over your schools, and you maintain this shabbily for hundreds of children, poor children coming to corporation schools. We run a private school with all fees. It's a business for us. It's a question of income and expense. So it's a shop. I'll maintain this very well. And you come and inspect us. What gives you moral authority to come and demand 15,000? He was very upset. Unfortunately, this is the state. So is it also the situation there in the Madhya Pradesh, and you have to face this? Because our ideology, sometimes we get so much irritated with this practical thing that is accepted by all the other educators. So your experience in this?
Yeah, there are. So when you work in the system, you are no exception, right? You have to go through with all these pains. The good part is we had lot of challenges in the same part right from 2019 when we wanted to even register our NGO. So you know that everything starts from there, and registration to the uh, on day-to-day basis. Not even us, for us it's like the parents, the the students parents are much worse affectees there, because when there are a lot of government guidelines, you need to fulfill that. You need to have the earning certificate, you need to have your caste certificate, and so many requirements are there. Even these smaller certificates, they
Yes,
are
yes.
not available with the parents. Parents are struggled like anything to running around from this one babu to another babu, and this gets never done. So
Very unfortunate.
we had helped what we were doing it, like since we were in a school, our principal that time, or the person responsible, they were helping all these parents to collectively get all the applications done, filling their application, spending a lot of
Oh,
part,
fine.
even helping them to open the bank account. So all their help. So this is on the help for there, but our struggle, definitely our struggle is there. 2009 when I started this school, uh, the right to education in 2010 also started
Yes.
by
Mm.
Pradhan Mantri Dr. Manmohan Singh, and that system is also kind of a reimbursement system. So you charge for the fees to the students, and whatever the fees you have charged, with a certain percentage, basically you get back from the government of that tuition fee.
Mm. Mm.
Unfortunately, it did not go well with us because we do not charge single penny any or indirectly to the students or the parents of the students. So we every year their online portal we fill fees as zero. So there are a lot of other schools who who get paid, even they are charging the fees and everything. But so far it is 11 years we have not received a single penny from the government. Government always came and advised at a multiple level that why don't you fill the fees that you are charging 2,000 per year, 5,000 per year, 10,000 per year. So we will reimburse it, right? What is the problem? But basically the ideology what we started is we are not charge anything to the student and just take off doing the paperwork and getting some money. Somehow it did not uh, for me and my father it not basically clicked and that you should do it, so we never did it. We never get the money. However, it is 100% free school. Everybody have a sympathy about the school that this school should get the money, but definitely government cannot change the rule for just for sake of one school, right? And we do have a challenges when we go for a recognition, right? This recognition is a big business in almost every part of the place, and we are no exceptions there. Recently, we went for high school, and we also our recognition was rejected despite of having the best building in the town, best facilities, everything there. So it's 25,000 square feet building, 12,000 square feet built up area, female, male, all everything is separate. What do you call well-defined 20 computers lab, library, all sort of labs, science lab or things like that. We have more than 3 printers. We have uh, filtered water system there. All facilities which even I doubt, I'm sure that there are a lot of other school provide. One of the best school in terms of facilities we have, but we were also no exception. We were having all these troubles, but again, like somehow I believe a lot of in God as well, as my father was. And he always used to say that, yeah, you will struggle. You may be failed once, you may be failed twice, but if you keep doing things, if you have the spirit, something Raghavin Sarkar will make some arrangement for you. So but you have to fight for it. So the life is like, it is always a fight, whether it is a daily, when the school every morning 8 o'clock children comes, there is a fight for something. When they go out, there is a fight for something. When they are in the school, there are fight for something. Similarly, when you are going for some new recognition, you are building. When we started, there was only few rooms were there. Now we have 3-story building there with all the facilities and everything. So struggle is there, but there is a strong sense of motivation, and belief, basically I will call it, is there somewhere in the brain that you continue to struggle, but you will continue to
This is what Shri Krishna says in Gita, Partha, Naiveha Namutra Vinashastasya Vidyate Nahi Kalyana Krit Kaschit Durgatim Tatagachati. One who is Kalyana Krit Bhavana, Kalyana Bhavana, he is never doomed. He never attains Durgati. Acha, will be brief. Now, with this corona online classes, and all these parents are laborers, how do you face, because these children, if they have to be taught, if it is online, they have to have that instrument, which is very costly. So many of our government schools, corporation schools are facing this problem.
Yeah.
So
And we are the
our
most affected in this. But again, uh, uh, the level of council, the good people council I have, and there are a few things we understood this in pretty early stage, like April, May, June time frame, that this is not going to end soon, and it's probably most likely the whole year we are going to face it. So we had, in fact, this online stuff got started very late, but we started the online classes uh, very early in the game, like when the school season started. Uh,
mm,
every month, the staff we have, they are creating the online education videos. So students don't feel that, there are a lot of content available on internet, but that is definitely they are referring. But at the same time, our school teachers themselves are basically
oh,
a lot of content. There are approximately 150 to 200 videos are created every month. And
oh,
yes, for every class, for every chapter, every
oh,
subject. And we have a WhatsApp group created. WhatsApp group,
very
videos are created, we circulate them. We have the same challenge. So a lot of parents have the smartphones, but not like 40% of it's the good part is what has happened in last 5-6 years is good. I would say that digital era has really come to a conclusion. Even these families are so poor, but they have somehow, at least they have some level of phone is available to them. But again, it's not that everybody have. There are about 40% children have the phones. So what we are doing right now is um, these 40% children who have, and they belongs to different mohalla and an area.
area.
Yeah, so basically these all kids come together. We supply them, we forward those videos to them once it is downloaded to their mobile phone. One person, the students who have the phone, they are the first, they can immediately go and look at it. Their friends who do not have the smartphones or the internet, then these folks basically come to those areas,
Oh,
and they collaborate together and they exchange it. So I would say that
mm,
approximately 60 to 65% children of the whole school are somewhere getting benefit of this online teaching that Spandan Academy is carrying out. But still 35% is still a large number where they don't have access.
mm,
um, Unfortunately, getting buying 300 laptops or something
yes,
very expensive which I cannot afford. And
yes, yes.
so whatever best way we can manage, we are doing. There's one more program that we started where the bigger classes students, so let's say ninth grade student. So
Uh,
students basically sometime we request them, then can you carry, they all of them have the phones basically. So we have about 14 children right now in ninth grade, and they all basically visit to these certain other children in their area, and they show
lower
those videos and all that stuff. So to some extent, whatever way newer ideas we get, we try to implement. But yeah, we
behind.
are also lacking. There is no doubt there, as everybody is struggling, so we are struggling too
Very fine. The intention, the emotion is so nice. Now, one last question. Recently, in the amendments to the Constitution, some laws passed in the Parliament, they have put some restrictions on foreign contributions, fund coming to NGOs from outside. I don't know. I have not studied that, but there are restrictions. Many of the NGOs, fraudulent ones, they have been affected. They are all crying. Even the genuine ones, they have been affected by this. So, what was your experience in this?
So the reason we are not affected in this is because the whole fund goes from my salary.
Oh,
And I transfer it to my own account in my NRI account in India.
beautiful.
And from that NRI Indian account, I transfer it
School account.
to the school account,
Oh,
Samiti account, and basically NGO account. So this whole everything is open, and I have since I started this school 2019. When somebody goes outside, a lot of people builds that impression that, oh, you are getting a lot of money from somewhere else. And even we are no exception. Parents actually used to come, and they all came and they were asking the question, you might be getting lakhs of rupees from somewhere else, but you are not giving. Why you're not? You are spending very less here, right? Or you can spend more money there. So
Sri Ram or Kubi Jaisa.
I don't
Yes.
because they are not educated, and the surroundings, basically the people who feed this wrong information is, and it's very obvious because 95% people are fake. It's not their problem because this is how system runs. They have never seen system like it, that it is really possible that one person is kind of making all these things happening.
Manipulating the
Struggle
things.
initially we had. So but again, like we have kept our balance sheets open. Anybody can come and see it whenever you want. Everything it's all there in the school. All you have to just go and visit there. Everything is open. There's nothing hidden because everything is fair. So there's
Uh,
nothing to hide.
yes, but the problem is too much closeness, too much accessibility, friendliness is also a hurdle in social work, because if you are strict, these things come never, they don't approach you with all these pestering questions and accusations. If you are easily available on the road, then all these uh, kachra
No,
all.
we had these issues as and when. So initially, when we started, we never knew these issues are going to come, right? And whenever we have these issues coming, we find the right way to communicate. The only way
You
we can go.
have a companion who emotionally, who is bound with you in this work. Who is that?
So there are a couple of people who are supporting. In terms of friends, I have a couple of friends. Their name is Atul, Romal, and there are a few other.
Your wife?
Coming to it, yeah, that's very key part. I want to cover it at the last. I want to express a couple of more names actually. His name is Shri S.K. Dikshit. He is my school, like primary middle school teacher.
Teacher.
He also runs. He's a principal of a school, well-known school in the town, same where Spandan Academy. He gives a lot of support to us in terms of a good counsel, and in terms of wherever we struggle in terms of rules, regulations, running the school and all sort of things. So he comes and helps us,
Yes.
give us some time. And there's one more person in my life who is again very important. His name is um, Shri Gyan Prakash Bhargav. He was
Acha.
he was my high school and higher secondary teacher.
Oh,
The socialism part, social service part is, I was part of Rashtriya Seva Yojana, National
NSS.
NSS. So he was leading that, and he basically sowed a lot of seeds. I don't know what he seed or something. I was very shy, children, and always last in the row and everything. But somehow he had that kind of sense that he could understand it. So he pulled me into a lot of things. He gave me a lot of responsibilities during the school time, and he had nurtures a lot of things into me. I know what he did for me. Maybe he doesn't know. A lot of time I try to convince him, but he doesn't get convinced.
Very good.
So
Great.
these two teachers are very important in my life, and there are many more teachers other than him who have definitely formed this whole things. And at the last, definitely the most important is my wife. It's 2003 we got married, and she was selected by my father. He's the one who finalized her, and I was little angry initially that you did not ask me, and you find marriage and all those things. I had very high, belief in my father, because somehow I always feel that he's a big time bhakt for the God Shri Ram, and I always knew that he will never do some whatever you know Afghan Sarkar has done in his life. It is always for the betterment, and there are a lot of struggle we have seen, but I had trust in him, and he had trust on him. So that has actually very turned out to be very positive. And she never asked, "Where is your money coming from? Where is my money going for?" There's not even a plan for every month. Need this, need that. Uh, there is in house, whatever you have, it is fine. She never asks, she never demands anything. And I hardly remember there was any hot conversation, even like not quarreling. No, that's very different thing, but not even a hot conversation we had in last 15, 16 years of marriage. He's very supportive. I think if initially I did not realize for when, but I realized that it's how important it is, that because if your better half is not supporting you, it's very difficult to
Can't do anything.
can't
Yes.
do anything actually. So
Yes.
she is like an amazing,
Yes.
I would say.
So everything
All
is divine in the case. Yes.
yeah,
Beautiful.
I would say I'm very lucky in certain cases, especially getting a parents like that, and having a wife like that. I think being it's rarely happened.
Yes. Yes. Very happy that I could talk with you, get introduced. One liner, if you want to just to say in very, very short, small, few words about life, about your own life or general life in general. What will you say that?
So life is definitely not easy, I would say. Every day there is I don't know, maybe a lot of people doesn't have that level of struggle or challenges or issues, but I see that every day, every week, every month, every year there are challenges, and uh, and the same challenges I have seen during my father's life as well when I was growing. Every day it's the same problem. Sometime there was a time there was nothing at home, and he used to go, and he was a kind of a different kind of a priest. He was not going for daily puja or something like that. He had some very specific set of people he used to go and just help them out, whatever that procedures, different things that he does in that. So he taught me basically that even if you don't have money, how you can still stay happy. And he was always happy. And he always used to say that, okay, see, he used to wear kurta and dhoti. So he just put his hands into the both the pockets and see, I don't have anything. But if you,
Hmm.
I need 50,000, I can get you in next 1 hour. And he did
Yeah.
multiple times because he had such a, his word was like it's like if he says so he had to follow. And I have seen he sold many and many a times whenever he borrowed money from someone, could not return on the day he promised, and he sold, ornaments of my mother, or he sold land or something like that. So he always lived up to his word. Whatever he said, he always lived to it. And uh, and that's where I think I see like lot of things have been transferred. And he had spent very good quality time with me. He never told me do this, do that, but I don't know what is his teaching
Yes.
was, but he had basically transferred everything. Even if I look at today, let's say today I'm in certain problem, I see that right now I have a big challenge in terms of a couple of teachers are left, and we need to, I have to figure it out something to basically, maybe because school should continue, right? You cannot just have things done immediately. So he has given me that sort of things, that okay, when there are certain problems, how to approach for the problem, how to basically find the solution to it, how patiently you need to be. When the problem comes to you, they're gonna hit you. Sometime problem could hit you for a day, could hit you for a week, could hit you for a year.
Hmm.
Be patient to wait for your time, because time will come. There will be always, it is not going to last long. The problem is not going to last long. It is definitely going to be okay. And I have experienced this over and over again and again
Great.
in my life. So I
Beautiful.
would say that I am so privileged. My father name was Shri Munnilal Sharma.
Acha.
And he's
Oh,
he's my guiding principle, I would say. Wherever any problem, any issues, I think
great.
still feel that he's somewhere helping me out there always.
Oh, beautiful. Very, very great, Shri Nirmal Sharma ji. Nirmal, beautiful name. Okay, let us conclude. It will be a it will be a very great morale booster to so many who are in such projects, and some are on the verge of frustration that the society is not cooperating, the system is not cooperating. Complete faith in divinity, and your father almost living with you as a huge shadow on you, blessing of his. Um, so you have laid the idea, the emotion, the uh, mm, attitude is very, 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 very nice. Project, there are so many who run such projects. Very good. I was very happy speaking to you.
It
We'll
is it is
friendship.
it is actually
I'll also, I offer my service. I have been going to schools, government schools, and talking with higher class children, teachers, training, orientation, and others. I have been doing this since 40 years, 45 years. So I offer my own service also to your school. Whenever there is this corona has passed and children come there, we'll continue this association.
sure ji. And I will uh, definitely want to say that um, I'm such a privileged person, I feel myself, in few terms. One is, I don't know, somehow I always get to meet people like you, who are such an inspiration to the world, to the society, to the betterment of the people. And this is also one of the important thing, where you meet these important people, and learn what is the right, what is the positive attitude you need to keep uh, for when you're dealing with your life, day-to-day life, or whether challenges or something like that. I'm also very privileged to have a great friends like Sachinji, and similarly, Sachinji is one, but there are many such friends. Whenever I am in some problem, something I have, I speak to them. They are always ready to help. They are always ready to support at whatever extent they can, and even beyond their capabilities and all that stuff. So this is one of the, I would say, it is really, I feel some way blessed in my life that the Gurujis, the good people, the friends, everybody around me are
Yes.
like so helpful. They
Beautiful,
always
beautiful.
give some path to move forward. And other day you had uh, I never Sachinji said that you are coming, and I was thinking he gave introduction of your long introduction, but I was really thinking that yeah, but probably I have basically got opportunity to meet few more folks earlier in my life who knew Gita, but the way the perspective that day you have put together, it was really great. It was
Oh,
awesome.
you were there in that group?
Yes, Ji, I was one of the yes, that's where
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
So so it's very important that and everybody says that there are a lot of problems and the solutions are available in the Bhagavad Gita. I also read the
Yes.
Bhagavad Gita twice myself. I did not understood as a whole, but whatever part that I understood is I that day I realized that when you were speaking about it, the perspective, the positiveness, how the God makes things to happen. When you were explaining the whole Arjuna and Shri Krishna starting Samvad, that was really awesome. And I am looking forward to have not in this these interviews kind of things, but looking forward to speak to you if you allow me whenever.
Are always
I
welcome.
want to learn more, and
Yes.
if you like Sachinji, you have good blessings for him. Same blessings if it can extend it to us also. That would
Yes.
really I
We
would
are
be
on the
very
same
grateful.
plane. We are on the same plane. Okay. You can put off the recordings part. We'll